Next, we will discuss on the analysis of the differences and similarities of the two different industries with regards to statutory requirements. First, we will look at the similarities between the two organizations in different industry.
With regards to MFRS 7, financial instrument disclosure for credit risk, Advanced's exposure to credit risk arises mainly from trade and other receivables. The maximum credit risk is limited to carrying amount of each class of financial assets recognized in the SOFP of the group and the company less any allowance for impairment losses where applicable. The credit risk of Ajinomoto, the company's exposure to credit risk arises primarily from trade and other receivables. The maximum credit risk is limited to carrying amount of each class of financial assets recognized in the SOFP, including derivatives with positive fair values. The liquidity risk of Advanced, liquidity risk arises mainly from general funding and business activities. The group practices prudent risk management by maintaining sufficient cash balances and the availability of funding through certain committed credit facilities. And for liquidity risk of Ajinomoto, liquidity risk arises primarily from mismatches of the maturities of financial assets and liabilities. The company maintain a balance between continuity of funding and flexibility through the use of standby credit facilities. For market risk that includes interest risk for Advanced, the group's exposure to interest rate risk arises mainly from borrowings with variable rates. The group's policy is to obtain the most favorable interest rates available and by maintaining a balanced portfolio mix of fixed and floating rate borrowings. And for Ajinomoto, the market risk includes interest and foreign risk. Interest rate risk arises primarily from the deposits placed with licensed financial institutions.